Okay, let's see what we've got going on here. See if this is working. Hmm. Oh, is it frozen? All right, well, I'm just going to check one more thing here. All right, it seems like we are live, so that's good. All right, so welcome. This is the Composite, and I am the host of this talk show. My name is Deanne Battle. Now, this is my first time in StreamYard. Looks like there's going to be a sound delay. I wonder how to get around that. I'm going to be creative just a second here. Hmm. I don't know how to fix this. My age is showing. Wait, hold on here. Audio. Okay. Well, if people celebrate, I hope you've had a great Christmas. Mine was pretty quiet. I've just been exhausted. Reduce delay, right? Because I'm hearing the sound twice. I'm not exactly sure what's happening on the other side, but I'm hearing myself 2 times. Okay, so I will keep the sound on StreamYard, but how do I fix the sound on Instagram? Sorry to anybody that's having to watch this. But once I get this right, hopefully, because I'll have access to change screens and stuff, that the broadcast will be a bit more interesting. Hmm. Let me do this. Okay, so let me just check. I just closed that window out. I don't know if it's still broadcasting. Let's see. I just closed that window out. I don't know if it's still broadcasting. Let's see. Okay, apparently it is. Okay, excellent. All right. Um, Intros again. Hi. Try this again. All right. Again, Deanne Battle. That's me. Hello. This show is called The Composite. This is season 2, episode 12. So, making it a little far in here. I started this show back in May, right? So I'm a writer. The writer strike was going on. And although I'm not working on screenplays at the moment or television shows, I thought, you know, at a basic fundamental level, maybe people might enjoy a little bit of content that I could provide. And so I just took it from there. Now I try to do the show twice a week if I'm lucky. Hasn't worked out the way I wanted it to. Although I am a teacher, my teaching schedule changes next semester. So I think I'm going to move the show to the mornings. So a little less late night, a little less Jimmy Fallon, a little more Drew Barrymore, I guess. We'll see. Um, who else is on morning talk shows right now? Anyway, yeah, hope everyone's been having a quiet and peaceful holiday season. Some things that I want to discuss, some current events, and some celebrity gossip. There's a shit ton of that coming through. So we'll go through that. And maybe if, um, you know, people do want to come up and be a guest, so to speak, maybe we'll have a chat about, people's, personal lives or any questions or concerns that they have. This is my first opportunity working with StreamYard here. And so I know it's going to be a little cray cray. But I'm just kind of trying to go with it, and yeah, hopefully that works out. All right. Now I'm just trying to set up my phone here to make sure that I can see, from a user standpoint, how the stream is coming through. But I'm glad I've gotten it this far. Okay. Cool. All right. Now let's see here. It allows you to do different layouts and stuff. And so what I'm hoping is that I can show you, articles and things that I'm looking at in real time. Because before I was just kind of in a loopy sort of way, switching the camera on my phone and showing you my laptop. So very inartful, right? But we'll get the shit together here. Okay. So what have I been up to? Not much. It's been a couple of weeks since the last episode, and I've just been like just totally exhausted, right? Like really just out of it. I just didn't have the energy, and even though this is like an imperfect format and I am an imperfect vessel, I really, like to make sure that I have enough energy to transmit through the screen. And I just really didn't. Um, I've mentioned, I think many times, I've got like a super commute right now. And I do it 3 or 4 days a week. And it's just been wearing my butt out. And then, during the holidays, um, it can be up to like 4 or 5 hours each way. Yeah, usually under four, but yeah, like sometimes it's a little nightmarish. But so far so good with the new gig. I think when it comes to work, I've changed my expectations. I think when I was in my 20s, even in my early 30s, I just had this desire to like really work my way up a ladder. And the time and energy it takes to invest in that is time that I'm not putting toward my creativity. For those that know me, I'm a writer. I've got a couple of books in process. Um, most specifically, excuse me, a short story collection. My novel's a little on hold now. I would say probably until late spring, probably until May. I've got a lot of research that I need to do, a little bit of traveling. Um, like I want to make it to the Library of Congress and places like that. So I'd have like big research to do. And so I'm putting that on hold and just really working on my short stories. And the I think the part of me, right, that has that ambition and that drive, putting that into working my way up a corporate ladder or any sort of ladder, would just, take the wind out of my sails. Now I know that there are people that can do both. My hat's off to them. I'm not one of them. And as I get older, you need a little bit more recovery time. I don't have any. Oh goodness, sorry, the dog. Xena, no. Xena, no. Stop, stop. You went outside. You have food. Mm-mm. No. Um, the time and energy. Yes, here she is. That would go into, um, climbing some sort of career trajectory, is the fortitude that I need to put into my writing. So I think, at the for the time being, I'm just kind of holding the fort, or just I can't think of the phrase, but just kind of like, you know what I mean, towing the line, going down the middle here. Um, until at least the collection of short stories is done. So that's, my goal for right now. There's 6 more days until the end of the year. So I will be using that time to write, clean, get organized, and just continue to rest. And, I hope, the same for all of you, that whatever, you know, in terms of going within whatever personal goals that you have for yourself, and you know little errands and things like that that you need to run. I hope that you have time to get that done, and that you feel a sense of accomplishment. I mean, I don't think this has been the roughest year, but it hasn't been great. um so another thing that I'm wondering about is, how to live in moments of gratitude, even when, it feels like a mixed bag, right? Um, it's often easier to complain than it is to, come up with something positive to say. And so, I want to live in that spirit and share that with you, right? Like, even if this hasn't been your ideal year, right? What life lessons have you gained out of it? I mean, I think the one of the main things that I've been thinking about is trusting my first mind. Um, you know, uh, and just because someone offers you a quote unquote opportunity doesn't doesn't mean it's the best opportunity for you, which is something that I learned from wrapping up my last job. That was not the opportunity for me. And I kind of knew that going in, but I was just like, okay, I already committed to it, even though they misrepresented the position. And then I just moved forward, and I really shouldn't have. I really should have, in the summer of 22, made a different choice. Um, but you live and learn, right? Um, Now, that is me personally. Um, what I'd like to do is just go through, a couple of articles. I don't know how long I'm going to stay on, because I spent, like, I think the first 10 minutes struggling through the stream here. Um, How do I share my screen? Ah, here we go. Uh-oh. Nice. Screen sharing works best on a good computer. I feel personally attacked here. Um, let's see. Okay. So it should be sharing my screen. Oh, wow, it worked. Okay. A little bit smaller than I would have liked, but it worked. All right, I'm making it a little bit bigger. So let's see what we have in terms of headlines. Now, um, here's why I want to just start with like going over headline stuff because um, it's felt, frankly, like, for the last week, the quiet before the storm, um, just in terms of geopolitically. I don't think things are getting better for the US, but in terms of stuff that's happening militarily, excuse me, and overseas, I don't think it's really been played up or highlighted as much. Now, to be fair, I haven't listened to the news intensely. I would say since like Friday evening. Um, but I do know there's been stuff going on in regards to U.S. military bases, excuse me, that we have in Iraq, and there have been attacks there, and I need to do a little bit more research, obviously, but haven't really heard too much in the way of headlines. And all of that being said, it feels a little as if the goal is to de-emphasize those elements, during the holidays. Um, now, let me see here. Okay. All right. So now you see my face. Now you don't. Hold on. Oh, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Add to stage. Mm, all right. I'm going to try that one more time because I don't want to lose the audio, but I do want the articles to be larger. Okay. No, I've got to find a different way to do that to go ahead and get the audio. This is a hot mess, y'all. My apologies. Okay. All right. So that's a little bit better. So hopefully you can still hear me. Um, I'll watch part of this playback just to see what I can do better for next time. Okay. So here we are. Ta-da. Um, right. Notice how at the top here they've got a bunch of shit, frankly, excuse me, that I don't really care about. Um, See, this here to me is the important stuff. Video appears to show massive explosion as Ukraine allegedly destroys Russian warship. Okay, yeah, that seems like that should be a little higher, right? Um, What else can move up here? See, US hits back with airstrikes following drone attacks, right? So for me, that should be, up here in breaking news somewhere. And it's not, right? So that's like super interesting. Sorry about the ad space there. Um, some more Kanye bullshit. I don't know. I'll learn about that through osmosis. I just hold on, let me just go back here. Let me switch it up. I'm just kind of tired of people giving Kanye a platform so that they can then be outraged, right? I mean, we already know he's not dealing with a full deck. We already know he's got certain bigoted views, and we already know he loves controversy. So it's like, well, what do we expect at this point, right? So yeah, I'm not going to be talking about that or engaging with that. I mean, whatever he's got going on, God bless, right? Um, Now let's go back here. What else do we have? Yeah, this is in terms of headlines, folks, I'll be frank, this is pretty useless. All right, so let's try some other news sites. Okay. All right, for Ukraine, success in the Black Sea and a setback in the East. Okay. So, what this tells me is maybe I need to go away and do a little bit of research, excuse me, and we can get a Russia Ukraine update in here because that is just grinding out, right? I mean, I frankly did not expect that conflict to go on for as long as it has, and it's still going. So it warrants an update definitely. Um, Other stuff that they have here. Yeah, yeah, everyone's really embracing the fact that it's a holiday. And notice how stuff is laid out, right? So we've got the Ukraine article up here, but it says Israel will not soon end its war with Hamas, officials say. Notice how far down you have to scroll for that information. And fair use. I hope I don't get in trouble for showing headlines here. Um, Interesting. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing this screen and go back to moi. Um, So, again, the quiet before the storm. I mean, I think that there are important things happening. I don't think that the huge conglomerate media is really covering it. And that's where I think those of us, right, that are engaging, in this kind of social media commentary, you know, can come in handy. Even though I'm still, I'm at the fledgling stages here. I'm still building up whatever this platform is going to be. But nevertheless, that's one of the reasons why I was glad to go ahead and start it. Um, wow, this thing has all types of features for me to go into. Um, Other things. Oh, okay, yeah. So that's new stuff. So what we'll leave it at is I need to do a little bit more research, but at least I can share a screen, right? So are you have to be grateful for little miracles. So I can share the screen. So I'll go away and put together a little care package for that, so we can spend 5 minutes or so uh, on the, in my opinion, like major updates in terms of you know um, U.S. military and foreign goodness. I don't know why I'm losing my train of thought here. Um, you know, Foreign relations, so to speak. We were trying to create a coalition of the willing to go over to the Red Sea, and that failed miserably. And that I don't think is getting enough attention, right? Because what that demonstrates to me is that our power is waning a bit. I don't want to overstate the degree, but yeah, our power is waning, right? When all of our colleagues or our allies, excuse me, are like, yeah, that's all right, we're good. Peace out, US, right? So that's not a good place to be in. So I would like to talk about that a little bit more. Now, the other part that I promised you, celebrity gossip. So something not on my bingo card is having a better sense, not a full sense, but a better sense of what the term power bottom means. For those of you who are not up to date, uh, mega pastor TD Jakes, right? Really famous, well known, um, television, movies, huge church, the whole nine. He's being accused of being in cahoots with P. Diddy, right? In regards to kind of like wild sex parties and things of that nature, allegedly. So I, am not gonna weigh on it on either side. I'm just kind of standing back like, oh, of all of the celebrities that have had stuff come out about them, true or false in 2023. That again was not on my bingo card. And so it's just interesting to see how he's handling it. I think looks like his his folks have gone after some bloggers in terms of things that they've had to say. So yeah, you definitely have to be careful in this space. Um, Listen, the only thing that I would say is, I mean, for me, it's only an issue, right, on a couple of fronts. Number one, did anything illegal happen? If nothing illegal happened, it's none of my business. And then number two, what is he preaching on Sundays, right? If I'm saying that not because I've never seen his sermons. I have seen I would say about a half dozen of TD Jake's sermons, back when I was Christian and going to church 2 and 3 times a week. I would watch his um services occasionally, and then Juanita Bynum, I'd watch her sermons as well. Um, but I don't remember him ever directly addressing anything in regards to the LGBTQ community. Um, the only other thing that I would say is that, if the allegations are true, right, and nothing illegal has happened, then, if he's preaching, right, anti LGBTQ folks, then eh, will that change if he's considered a member of that community? I don't know. I don't know. Yes, some wild shit, man. I'm not gonna lie. Because I think it really gets to the heart of certain things that need to be talked about in terms of the Black church. I'm not one of those people who subscribes to the theory that the Black community is ultra homophobic, because that hasn't been my experience. Now, you do have certain people, especially older folks, who do have bigoted views, are really uncomfortable. But, I think for the most part, the attitudes that I've seen have just been like, hey, if that's, you, then, you know, do you, but there's been kind of like that separation removal. But I think a huge part of that is the continued devotion that many of us do have to Christianity, right? And does that need to change? Or do we need to reframe it? And I think that he specifically, because he is so revered, would be in a powerful position to reframe that, you know, again, if allegations are true. Um, Now, would people be on board with that? Probably not. Um, but see, this is for me one of the reasons why I stopped going to church. I mean, for me, I was very much looking for, right, that shepherd. And I think I might have talked about this before. When I was going to church, I was looking for that spiritual shepherd, someone who walked the talk, right? And then use that to be, an inspiration to their flock, their congregation. And I just, the few churches, where I was a member, I just saw too much hypocrisy for my tastes. A really great friend of mine said that, and she had a really great point. She said, uh, God doesn't pick a perfect vessel, right, for his message, right? And you should take from uh, a person like what you can get, basically, but you don't have to put them on a pedestal. And I like the way that she thinks about it, and so that made me maybe rethink my approach. Maybe I was being a little too harsh, but it just, you know, the prosperity doctrine and frankly, a lot of pastors are very flashy, in my opinion. It just seemed like, we have really urgent, well, when I was a Christian, I thought to myself, we have really urgent things to attend to as Christians, especially as Black Christians. And I don't want to waste my time with this bullshit that he's talking about. I mean, that was my attitude, especially after the murder of Philando Castile. I, I wanted a pastor, a preacher who I felt like could mobilize not just me, but the faith community into doing something. And I mean, maybe that's just a little too Pollyanna-ish. We're way past the civil rights movement. Maybe the Black church is that's not what it's for anymore. But if that's the case, then I'm not sure the function that it plays. And maybe that's because I'm an outsider. But if faith can't be mobilized to appeal to the moral compass of people and to get people to uh, do right by their fellow human being, then I don't really know what it's for. I mean, that's what it was for me, at a time in my life when I was feeling kind of down on myself, when I needed hope, when I needed purpose. Um, it gave me that for a while, and so I'm grateful. But I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but that's just what the whole TD Jakes gossip has me thinking about, um, not really from a place of exposing him or humiliating him, so on and so forth, but just again, if if there is some sort of validity to these allegations, how can he, being the leader that he is, harness that situation and flip it, right, and use it to really benefit Christianity or humanity, more broadly. So we'll stay tuned and see what happens there. Okay. So this was a bit of an experimental episode, right? But I'm glad that I did have a chance to, right, figure out how to maneuver in this space. So thank you for your time. I Tomorrow is a Wednesday. I'll go live tomorrow, but earlier, probably more around 6:30 or 7, to maybe see if I can capture a viewer or two. All right. So I will end this stream. And thank you for anybody who took the time to join me, or to anybody who watches the playback. All right. And I am Deanne Battle, and this was episode 12 of The Composite. See you soon.